Hello everyone, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. Let me skip that real quick. So this is, well, as you can see, still beta version. This is the last beta, Beta 4, where they are allowing us to record video. However, they have an embargo so that you will not be seeing this video until after the launch of the game. However, I would like to go ahead and get a head start on recording and editing this so that it can be out early for you guys. For those of you not familiar, Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn is essentially version 2 of Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV originally was not very well received by the gaming community at large, and Square, instead of simply canceling the game or going free to play, decided that, hey, we're going to be crazy and we're going to redo the entire game. So here we are, about 2 years later. They've pretty much remade it from the ground up, and we're going to go look at it as soon as we... I'm going to show you here the opening movie, because the story behind it, I will link to you a Dual Shockers article which covers the entire story of 1.0, which leads directly into A Realm Reborn, as well as the full cutscene that illustrates the very end of 1.0 and the transition to 2.0. But we'll show you here the opening movie, and we'll give you kind of a little bit of a background as to what's going on in the world. So that giant battle and the attack of Bahamut, that was the end of 1.0. And you also may have noticed the similarity between the characters showing up in, post-Calamity and pre-Calamity. That's because they were teleported forward in time. I want to say it's 5 years between the two versions. And those represent the player characters. All the characters from 1.0 have been transferred over to 2.0 with their gear and levels intact, and will also, in theory, come with extra enhancements to the story or changes to the story relative to the fact that they have been part of 1.0. So things have been a little wonky this morning, as it is opening day of Beta 4, and things are rather overloaded at this point. So we should have the character selection screen momentarily. May have to put a cut in here, but yeah, I'll have to put a cut. And welcome back. We finally got it through to the character selection screen. This is one of my legacy characters from 1.0. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this character and we're going to play it through and hopefully be able to see all the special stuff that the legacy characters get. So first things first, we get to go in. It says that we will have to specify our class that we want to begin the game as, and we get a free edit to our character. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to not go particularly... I'm going to go reasonably quickly here through the character's creation, as there's going to be plenty of videos about that. But in general, you have your human, your elf, your cute race, your cat people race, and your rather large race. New to version 2.0 of Final Fantasy XIV is the male Mikote and the female Rogadrin. Whoops, didn't want to go all the way back out. Your clan here basically denotes each race has essentially two factions, which have slightly different appearance customization. You're going to keep the same name day and go through. You can do height, bust size. Obviously female only. Various tail styles here, or skin colors, tail shapes for the Makote here, tail lengths, hairstyles. Pretty decent selection. Hair color allows you to pick the main color and the highlight color separately. If you want, you can turn that off. Just a couple of different face designs, jaw shapes, eye shapes, iris size, eye color. You can make them independently colored like I've done here if you want. Eyebrows, nose, mouth, lip color, not, you know, any facial features you want. Some tattoos, tattoo color, face paint color, and voice. So not necessarily the huge amount of sliders you might have seen on some RPGs or MMOs, but more than enough to create a very unique looking character. And one thing which I'm going to try to angle the camera here, this mark on her back, which is partially hidden by her racial clothing here. Is it actually, there we go. Apologies for the mostly naked cat girl. The mark here on the back is only on legacy characters. There's an example of Paladin artifact gear. And we will keep that appearance. If you want, you can also see what your character would look like in different environments and different lighting, as well as, you know, switching to evening for a darker color. So we will confirm. Don't need to save it, because that would save it to a disk if I wanted to create a new character with the same appearance. The class we're actually going to change. Unlike 1.0 and 2.0, the classes are tied, or your starting city is tied to your classes, and I want her to start in Gridania. So I'm going to pick a different class here that starts in Gridania. And I'm thinking, I also don't want to start with one that I've got a lot of levels in, simply because a lot of the early quests will give you a chunk of XP and they aren't repeatable, so I want to kind of put them towards a class that I haven't leveled too much. But Lancer actually I think would be interesting to do, and I'm reasonably certain that I haven't gotten any levels with that yet. So we'll switch her to Lancer, and we will confirm and go. And hopefully the server will not be overly full. I will do my best to read these out to you. I'm not a voice actor, so apologies in advance. Oi! You alright, lass? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Had to be the aether, I reckon. Some are more prone to the sickness than others. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. Feeling better, Kupo? Aha, you can see us. I had a feeling you could, Kupo. We're Moogles, and we live in this wood. Normal folks can't see or hear us, which makes you special, Kupo. Seeing how you're special, maybe you can tell us something. The wood's been restless of late, lots of strange things happening. Have you a chance to witness anything suspicious, Kupo? But of course you haven't. You've only just arrived. Well, there's nothing for it then. We'll just have to keep looking. Nice to meet you, Kupo. Gridania is still a far way off, in case you were wondering. Seeing as you're awake, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them youngins don't much care for conversation, see. Bremont's the name, and Pedlin's me trade. As for your good self, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, and now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? I have a choice of to gain power, to win glory, to amass a fortune, or the Final Fantasy classic, the Ellipsis. And honestly, I'm just not going to answer that. Well, if you ain't inclined to tell, I ain't about to pry. Might be his old Bremont's a chatterbox, but he sure as hells ain't no busybody. We all have a secret or three, don't we? Me? Dozens. And I'd rather they stayed secret too, which is why I don't go sticking me nose where it ain't welcome. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Halt! Go no further. What's this then? What? What's going on? A skirmish has broken out up ahead with the Ixal. For your own safety, you must remain here until... Bloody hells. We shall hold them here. Try to break clear. That was too bleeding close. Nice of the Ixal to send us a welcoming party, though, eh? Joking aside, this won't be the last time you meet those feathered fiends, so just you take care, alright? By the by, is this your first trip to Gridania? I will answer no, because this character had also started in Gridania way back in 1.0. Thought not. But I'll wager there's been some changes since your last visit. Allow a journeyed itinerant to teach you a few new things about your destination. Ahem. The city of Gridania lives slap bang in the middle of the Black Shroud, the biggest, lushest forest in all of Eorzia. Though it ain't near as lush as it used to be, saying that. Not since the Calamity laid half of it to waste. The destruction prompted a herd of new nasties to move in, and gave the Ixal unneeded encouragement. Birdmen raids have been a daily occurrence. At long last. Behold Gridania, the forest nation blessed by the elementals.
The Black Shroud, the ancient forest, close to the heart of Eorzia. Beneath the boughs of its towering trees lies the woodland city-state of Gridania. Once a sanctuary from the world beyond the hedge, even the mighty elementals, eternal guardians of the forest, could not forestall the coming of the seventh umbral era. However, the goddess Nofika was never one to forsake her children, and today she welcomes another brave soul. One who may yet play a telling role in the tale of this great realm.
And here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, and it's back to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for keeping me company. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the matron take her to her bosom, that she may never want. And in her heart, sow serenity, purity, and sanctity.
You there. Yes, you. Your face is not known to me. Newly come to the city, no doubt. I am Bertinant, a wood whaler of Gridania, and I'm probably butchering the name. It is my duty to protect our nation from our enemies while welcoming those who may yet prove her friends. Let us see which you are. Welcome to Gridania, a vibrant forest nation cradled in the bosom of nature. Please select the control scheme you wish to use, and I'm going to pick mouse and keyboard. It does completely support a controller if you happen to have one of those and prefer to use it. And we're basically going through the tutorial now. To do camera movement, it shows us up here that, hey, we can move around, look around, so on and so forth. Mouse is a little stuck. I'll probably have to adjust the graphical settings as the computer is not particularly happy. And jumping, something that wasn't in the earlier game. However, here is probably a decent place to call it, and we'll be back shortly for more Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you for watching.